Hey, welcome back everyone. I am Ishan Sharma, and on this podcast episode, I have Sakshi with me to talk about her internship experience at Microsoft. And she also ended up getting a pre placement offer at the end of her internship. This episode is just packed with her experience of working at Microsoft. How did she crack the interview at Microsoft? She also talks about her experience studying at IIT Guwahati. She is a computer science student at IIT G, and in this episode, she'll just be talking about her complete experience. She also recently got to interview at Google, and so I hope you'll learn a lot from this episode. Make sure that you watch it till the very end. She talks about a new way that Microsoft is recruiting people. So I hope you'll enjoy that too. Make sure that you watch it till the very end. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and you can also connect with Sakshi. I'll leave her LinkedIn profile in the description. Go check it out. And now let's get into the podcast episode. Hey Sakshi, thank you so much for joining me here for this podcast interview. And how are you doing there?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm also doing great. In this particular episode, we just want to learn from you what was your experience like preparing for big tech companies, the FANG as people like to call it, and what was that complete journey for you and everything about that topic. So first of all, I just want to ask you the first question, and that is, how did you get started with preparing for data structures and algorithms? And like in which semester did you start and the whole process?
Yeah, actually, for me, the data structure and algorithm journey started in my 11th, 12th self. Like, I had opted for computer science. So, yeah, from there only I built my basic C++ and like OOPS concepts. But then, like in my second and fourth semester, since my branch was mathematics and computing, so we had like computer science courses like data structure labs, etc. So there I got to get acquainted more with the concepts. But then formally, if you say the preparation, I started in my third semester. I bought a Coding Ninjas course, which is a C++ foundation and DS Algo course. So in the beginning of third semester, when you see your seniors getting internships at
Yeah, yeah,
big
yeah.
big tech companies, then you start panicking a bit. You like it's just 6 months away. You have to prepare. So yeah, then I started to get in the zone, and yeah, I started preparing from then. I would say like third semester beginning or mid. Yeah.
And how was that experience like for you? What were the challenges that you were facing personally for your case?
Actually, I would say that there were not a lot of challenges, I would say, because, I have been very grateful that in my first year I was a part of many clubs. So, as a result of that, I had many seniors that I could go to, for any technical advice or any other advice. So, I had a very, a nice relationship with them. So, yeah, I would really say that, like, if you have a very good connect with your seniors, that would be really helpful, not only in college, even after you pass out, like in the industry also, that will be very helpful.
Talking about experience with seniors and college, what was your experience with IIT Guwahati and like the complete, the hostels and like staying there and the lectures? What would you like to say about that?
I would say IIT Guwahati is a great place to be. First of all, we have such a beautiful campus, like I think you might have heard about it. Like we have one of the most beautiful campus in India, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that all sets you in a zone. Like our first and second semester was just strolling around in the campus and like having fun. Yeah. So and I was a part of yeah, I was a part of many clubs also. And talking about the lectures, like I think that stands true for any college, that like ultimately you have to go to YouTube and other
Yeah,
like
like
Google
that
sources where you
happens
actually learn.
regardless of if you're in the tier one college or in
Yeah,
a tier
that
three
is
college.
yeah, so that is there. But yeah, but I would say yeah, the overall environment that you have there, like be it coding culture or cultural thing, or be it like being a part of the sports team. Like I was part of basketball team also. So I would just say don't sit back in your room at least for your first year, and then just go out and explore. You will, if not anything, you'll just meet people and like have them for the rest of your college life.
Oh, definitely. I feel that in the beginning, before I started my college, I was a very introverted person. I wasn't able to talk to anyone. But then I took this challenge to just meet one new person every single day. And, just after the first semester, I was able to make a lot of friends as well as improve my speaking skills. And so that was a really good experience. So definitely, I feel
Thank you.
that's
Yeah.
a really important point.
Yeah, actually, clubs are like, be it technical or cultural clubs. Clubs are a place where you have like-minded people, people who are just there voluntarily because they like doing that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All of us landed up in the same college, but not all of us land up in the same club. So yeah, clubs are a great way to interact, I would say. Clubs, teams, sports teams, yeah. And we also have like compulsory compulsory SA and NSO thing, which is like you have to pick one sport which you have to go to like I think twice or thrice a week.
And
That's
that's
like a
compulsory for every
compulsory thing
student. That's
for
actually a really good thing, because
for
in
first two
bits it's
semesters.
not even that kind of thing, because we are actually very flexible. So you can do whatever you want to. You can choose what classes you want to go, and then you can do whatever you want to, basically. So people just end up just leaving the sports and the activity part, and they just focus too much on skills that require you to just sit at one place, for example coding or graphic design or something along those lines. So I think that's definitely a very valid point. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also we have inter-IT cultural meet, technical meet, and sports meet. So that is another incentive. Yeah. And not only sports, you can choose between music, swimming, a lot of it. So yeah, I think like it's not about the courses, it's about the people that you meet, right? Like if you talk about an IIT or any premier college.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what were the how were the cultural fest like?
Cultural fairs are really great. Like there's a like I it's really sad that we might not have the last like
Yeah,
our cultural fest is
definitely.
Alcheringa, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's not, yeah, so I think we would not have such a great one as the last one, but
Hmm.
yeah, they're like one of the best 3 days you have in your entire year. And
Definitely,
not
I
only
feel that.
cultural fest, even technical fest. Yeah, we have like top-notch singers coming for the tech fest also. So yeah, these people work really hard. The teams. I was a part of a team for like I think 1 or 2 months, but then I had to leave because I had other commitments. Like I was playing for Inter-IT Sports Meet. So yeah, it's a great feel to be a part of one of those teams, and they work really hard to make it happen. Yeah.
Exactly. I still remember the first week in my college in BITS Goa. They screened previous year's after movie of the Cultural Fest, which in our case is Waves. And it was really hyped up, like amazing music, amazing visuals. We have a department of photography, and they just make an amazing trailer. It's like a really amazing movie, and we're just looking at it and we're like, oh my God, that looks so amazing. And then we actually get to experience that. So yeah, it's really amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Like coming to design, like we have a department of design also, right, at IIT Guwahati. So that is like another added bunch of people we get to interact with through our hostels and through other clubs. That is another great thing about IITG.
All right, let's talk about your experience with software development on the development side. Did you engage into some development like Android development or like machine learning or something in that sort?
Yeah, yeah. I was a part of a consulting and analytics club from my first semester itself. So there I got acquainted with two things. First of all, I got acquainted with consulting, which includes like case studies, etc. So I participated in some case study competitions. I participated in Creative Shock, which is like an international business case study competition, and we had like an international rank of 13, but we couldn't make it to the top 10. The top 10 were supposed to be going to Lithuania for the global championship.
Oh
So
my God.
yeah, yeah, so yeah, we couldn't make it there. But yeah, that was one thing that I explored, and from that same club I came to know about machine learning, etc. So yeah, I did some courses. First of all, I did there's a course on Udacity which is Intro to Machine Learning,
Yeah,
and Andrew NG and all those courses are there. So these are like the
the most
starters that you
cliched
have
courses.
for, yeah. So yeah, these are kind of the starters that you have for ML. Then yeah, all these helped me to get an internship at a startup in my second year summer.
And
So
that was
yeah,
a
that
college
was
startup, or that was different from your college
no,
completely?
actually, that was based in my home city. Like that was
Okay.
based in Pune. So
Hmm.
I came to home for summer. So I did the internship and like interview prep. The internship interview preparation alongside. So yeah, that was one thing. And apart from that, like talking about other projects, I also did some web development projects. Like even that was a guided project. There's a web developer boot camp on Udemy. So if you go through that, then like basic websites. Like I actually worked on a tourism website that the user could add pictures of the pictures of the sites and then comment, etc. And there were like authentication and authorization features, etc.
CRUD
And
functionality.
right now, yeah. So right now I was working on some project under the coding club. Like we have very nice clubs here. So the technical clubs are, especially for this year, they are very active now. So yeah, I was working on that. So I'm working on that as of now, that project.
All right, let's talk about your Microsoft internship experience. What was the interview process like? And like tell us about the rounds that there are inside of it.
Yeah, sure. So actually for Microsoft, it started from the Codes exam itself in my fourth semester. So whoever were like, they did well, they were given an opportunity to have like a Codes
What is
mentorship.
Codes for people who don't know?
Yeah, Codes is actually they conduct a test for our year it was only for girls, but from this year I think they have included it's for both girls and boys. But I think they have renamed it as something as Engage program. I think it's called Engage now, but for our year it was Codes, and at that time it was only for girls. So we had like I think 2 hour or 1 hour test, coding test. Yeah, that was based on that was hosted on a platform called Metal. So we had that test, and those who had done extremely nice, they got an opportunity to visit the Microsoft Hyderabad and Bangalore campus. I couldn't make it there, but then I was part of but the other people who were like the other people who still did competently well, they got an opportunity to get like a mentorship from them. So throughout the summer, we were mentored by the software engineers. Mostly the people were given the mentors who were their alum themselves.
Okay.
So yeah, we had like assignments, and at the end we had a mock interview also. So they said it was mock, but then it was quite serious. I think they graded us upon that, because if you come to the on-campus part now, for us, what happened is that the Codes people did not have to go through the coding test and the group fly round, but I will still tell about it. So the coding round was usual as you have for any other company. So, and if you qualify from the coding test, then you have a group fly round. So group fly round basically
so the first round is
of
basically like it has like a hacker rank kind of an interface where you could you just have a few problems to solve, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah. So actually I would say that I think Microsoft in our year or the years prior to that, it used to use some primitive hosting website. Like I think they hosted it on Metal or CoCubes, which are not very popular among the people. So I would say that like just to not let this hinder yourself during the the actual test. Just be acquainted at least with all the platforms at least once. Just go, and there's a lot of chance that I have never practiced on HackerRank, and I could not just do it there because I was not acquainted with the platform. And you just give me 5 minutes to get acquainted, that's not enough, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this should include one of your things in your practice, I think.
All right, and the next round?
Yeah, so there's a group fly round where you have to basically code on paper.
Okay.
So what they do is that we are made to sit in let's take our lecture hall. So we are made to sit there, and then we are given a coding question, and you have to code it on the paper. So, and then when you are done, you have to there will be around 4 to 5 invigilators. Those people will be from Microsoft only, and you have to call them out and then explain your solution to them. Basically, it's like how good you are coding on paper, and also how well can you explain your solution to other person. So it's mostly based on that.
So this is something different. I haven't really heard about this particular round.
Yeah. So this is I think only Microsoft has such a round in the on-campus, in the whole on-campus internship season, So yeah, Microsoft has this round. So yeah, if you qualify from here, then you have the generic interview thing. Yeah.
And
but actually for this year, since it was virtual, they could not have the group fly round. I don't know what they substituted it with. I think they just shortlisted lesser number of people from the test itself, but this is a very interesting round to be a part of. Yeah.
All right, and then there was the final interview.
Yeah, so I had two interviews. Apart from the mock interview that I had two more interviews on the on campus. So first one was mostly technical, and the second one was like technical plus HR. So he asked me some behavioral questions also, apart from the questions, based on my CV or technical questions.
So you
Yeah.
would recommend people to also go into competitive programming and not just limit themselves to just learning about DSA, right?
Yeah, actually, it's better. Like competitive programming would any day help you to have a better, a better command on algorithms, and a better, when you start thinking about a problem, you'll have a greater, weapon set, you can say, to think about. So it's better, but it's not really necessary. But if you do it, it's better. Yeah.
All right. And what was your experience like at Microsoft, and what projects did you get to build over there?
Yeah, so like I won't exactly talk about the project, but yeah, I just had to work on building a component for a Microsoft app. So yeah, that component will be used by
What
by the
technology did it
team.
use?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, so I had to work on a lot of new tech stacks. So first of all, I had to build on C Sharp .NET. C Sharp is a programming
Yeah.
language, and .NET is a framework. Yeah, so that was one thing, and then I had to also implement authorization and authentication for the component that I was working on. So then I worked with Azure Active Directory, and for the database part, I worked with Azure Cosmos DB. So a lot of tech stack coming in my way for like 2 months, but it was great. It was great. Yeah, sometimes you might even have to work with tech stack that your even mentor or that even your mentor or other teammates in the team have not worked with. So sometimes you just have to bring it on your own. So that's a really great thing that you learn during your internship.
All right. What other skills should developers have when they are going in for these internships, other than just coding simply?
Yeah, actually, I would say what I realized in my 2 months of internship, that coding is a very small part of the skill set that you must possess. So one thing that I realized was that presentation skills are very important. Like not only building the component that you are building, but also being able to present it and being able to explain it to other people. What you are doing and why you are doing, how you started working on it, what all ideas you had, how you discarded them, why you took what you took.
Yeah.
So yeah, and apart from that, like one of the feedback that I had from my seniors during the internship was that you should be able to understand the bigger picture, like what you're building, how does it fit into the complete product, right? So that one thing is that, and you should be able to take ownership of what you're building. Especially as an intern, there's a high chance that you bug your mentor for everything, but it's better that you take ownership of what you're doing. And other than that, working in a team and communication skills, those can be managed, but yeah, all these are there which you can, like, look after for when you are in the internship. Like you will have I think timely presentation in front of your manager or mentor. So at that time, it's more important than how you present your work than what you actually did in the past 2-3 weeks.
Okay, that was really amazing to learn. And could you tell us a little bit more about your Google interview process and what was that story about?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I got contacted by a recruiter after I got my PPO. So yeah, so the first round was a half an hour call where she asked me, like, first of all, it was to introduce myself and basic questions, and then she asked me questions on the lines of time complexities of data structures and things like that. You just to check that if you have the basic knowledge, algorithmic knowledge in the language that you are saying that you have. So after, if you pass that round, then you get interviewed by some software engineer at Google. So yeah, I would just recommend to take your time, have at least 3 weeks or 4 weeks of, like, they themselves will ask you how much time do you need. So don't make it like 3-4 months, but I think 3 weeks or 4 weeks should be good. So after that, you get your interview scheduled with some software engineer at Google. And yeah, so do you want me to also talk about the preparation, like what all can you look
Yeah,
for
sure, go
while you
ahead.
prepare? Yeah. Yeah, so like I think like what happens is that Google will not ask you a lot of very difficult concept, but what they want to see is like how you think basically. So I think like whenever you are given a question, first try to, clarify. First try to reframe it and ask it to the interview, is that what you're asking? And then ask proper clarifying questions. And also when you are starting to code, just tell your brute force approach once. And then if you, and also try to mention the space and time complexities on your own. Like,
Okay.
so if you do that on your own, that's a better thing to do. And then if he says now go optimize it, or else he will ask you to just like, okay, that's fine, let's just code it. So unless he gives you, like a green signal to just go code it, and don't start coding on your own. And then apart from this, like think about the edge cases, corner cases on your own. It puts a bad impression if you say like, yeah, I'm done, I'm very confident about it, and then the interviewer says, okay, can you just tell me how would this work on this test case, and then it breaks down. So I think it's better if you think about it on your own. Yeah.
All right, Sakshi. And what are your future plans right now after you graduate from
Oh,
IIT Guwahati?
yeah, I'm very confused actually right now. So
Why
like
so?
I was, yeah. So I was actually reading upon, open source also. So I was thinking before college ends, I will try to explore that also. And then I'm also in touch with some startups, so that I get to work on hands-on with some web dev project, in some industrial project. So that, and yeah, so all these are there. And then I have my college going on, that is there. So even after graduation, I think, let's see, like I'll be joining Microsoft, but yeah, after that also I'm thinking like maybe masters or what. So it's a pretty confusing path as of now.
All right. Now,
So
one question wanted to ask you is about these big tech companies and how they have become such, big giant companies. Like recently, Apple got a $2 trillion evaluation, right? So, what do you think about this whole thing? And people are talking about privacy right now. Recently, all of these companies got to present themselves in front of the Congress in US. What do you think about this whole thing? Like, is there a better approach? Should they be breaking the companies in it themselves? Like, Facebook owns Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp as well. So what do you think could be a better solution to this? They have these monopoly companies, right?
yeah, like talking about that, even during my internship, like the like I don't know how much detail I can talk about it, but I really came close to this, privacy thing, like something I had to work on just because there were privacy clause of some other company. So yeah, I really think, yeah, that I think I think it boils down to the relationship that they have among themselves. So I think even Microsoft was trying to have a conversation with that company and try to relax that privacy clause that certain company has. So I think it's a trade-off between how much they want to have their share in the market, and how much they value their relationship with other companies. So even Microsoft was, when I was part of the when I was between the internship, I came to know that they are also not only stressing about the monopoly that they have in the market, they're also stressing upon how strong the relationships are with the other companies, because monopoly will let you grow for certain years, but if you have a strong relationship, and if you come up with products which are merged between two companies, so maybe you are merging the customer base of those two companies. So I think that's
Okay.
more progressive of a mindset than to think that if I have this all this private or everything private to me, then I'll have a monopoly in the market, and like we will flourish.
I think it's
Yeah.
really interesting because when the senator asked Google's Sundar Pichai about this thing, he said that we are a very a small player in the complete industry, and he wasn't really talking about search engine. He was only talking about advertisements. So, like they try to change the industry sector completely, and then they say that they are just a very small player in this huge, vast ocean of competitors and businesses out there. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, I think it again comes to the values and culture of that company. Like some companies have this private, culture thing that they don't want, they try to maintain secrecy, while other companies whose code base and everything is out there in the open, and anybody can contribute to it. So I think it boils down to the culture that the company wants to, inculcate in the employees and go forward with.
All right, yeah, makes sense. So thank you so much, Sakshi, for joining in, and I hope the audience would be able to learn something from this. If you have any questions, you can definitely pop in the comments. And if you want to connect with Sakshi, I'll put the link to her LinkedIn in the description below, so you can check it out. But yeah, thank you so much, Sakshi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was great.
Thank you so much for watching the episode till the very end. If you are still watching, thank you so much. Like, you are the people that keep me going after and just creating more and more videos for you. Thank you so much. This was the complete episode. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Sakshi is an amazing person, and it was my pleasure to actually get to talk to her. You can also find her LinkedIn and Instagram handles in the description. Go check it out. But yeah, thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.